I'll send you the recording. Yeah. All right. Let me share. Get right at it. You see, okay?
It says you've started screen sharing, but I don't see anything. Oh, now I see something.
It's kind of materializing finally. There it is. A little slow. I don't know. Maybe the rain. Anyway, congratulations, or I'm sorry. I don't know which. We'll find out, right? Over the course of um, I'd like to do this meet and greet. Here comes Jody. Um, to kind of give you a taste, a sense of this Greenbelt certification training, or as like also known as 15 weeks of hell. Not really. I think I guess I'm going to start with if anybody can answer this question, why do we need lawyers?
Interpret the law.
Yeah, because the law is complicated, right, Joe?
Yeah.
And why do we need tax accountants?
Why do we need what?
Tax accountants.
Oh, same reason.
Yeah, tax code's complicated, but so the Six Sigma, the whole idea is they try to make it complicated as heck. You know, I think the genius is in making it as simple as possible, which it really is. This is probably, I don't know, 10 or 12 um, group that gone through this. Um, and I think you guys can be the judge at the end, but I think I'm getting better and better at making it simpler and simpler. And I made a few changes in how I deliver it. And I took my Greenbelt class in 4 days. Um, it's 30 hours to get a certification in Greenbelt. So I did 4 days and took an exam on a Friday, and I basically by Saturday, actually by the cocktail hour that Friday night, that celebration, I forgot most of what I learned. So my thinking is, can we low level it, you know, draw it out over a bunch of time, and make it as simple as we can. So I was going to go through introductions, um, kind of try to settle on a day and a time. 1,300 slides. Oh, they're going to fly right by. Oh, um, and a lot of, I don't really focus too much on the slides. We kind of get through the slides. The practical part is where you get to actually practice doing some Excel tools. Um, and then there's a 40 question exam at the end, which no one's ever failed. I think the average grade was 92 for the last class. That means I did a good job, I think. It's open book. And there's a kind of a team presentation, where you're from like 4 or 5 different companies and team you up into teams of four, something like that. And you go after a data set and make a presentation. So there is our class. I think, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 17, I think total. Could you guys do like a 20-second introduction to yourself, your company you work at? Start with you, Abhishek. I know you're on. Um, I don't know, wherever you want to tell everybody.
Yeah, so my name is Abhishek, and I just finished my master's in industrial engineering from Oregon State and moved to Connecticut and work as a continuous improvement engineer
Atlas Stamping.
at the stamping and manufacturing.
Big-
I have Andrew here with me too.
Oh, you got Andrew? All right, Andrew
Yeah.
Philgate too. Want to say hi, Andrew, to the people? Andrew. There it comes.
Ooh,
Alec, I'm not sure you're here. Is Alec here? I think I have
Andrew
to.
is also here.
What's that?
Andrew is here with me.
Okay. You want to do an introduction, Andrew
Yeah,
Philgate?
sure. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna move on, okay? I don't want. How about is Alec Perro? I'm not sure he's here. He's a student. I think he's graduating UConn. Some I think he has to listen to the recording today. Bev is here. I know that. Inman, South Carolina's in the house.
I'm here. Beverly Thompson. I'm with Hubbard Hall, the South Carolina location. I've been with the company for about 30 years. Uh,
Dang.
and I'm the customer experience supervisor for the South Carolina location.
Nice. 30 years, my own. And of course, we have Craig Keller, one of the smartest people I know. Craig, you want to take it? I think of
I'm
marketing.
so smart I can't manage Windows. Yeah, no, I moved my mouse and everything went. Oh. How's it going, everybody? I'm Craig Keller. I'm the director of marketing at Olbrich. I've been here about 6 years now, and a big part of what I do is leading a lot of digital transformation projects. A3 is a big part of what we do here in marketing at Olbrich, and I'm excited to dive back into this
Same,
Six Sigma.
same, brother. And Darnell, Sylvester, PTA. You want to pipe in?
Hello, Bill. How you doing?
Good, there he is.
I'm Darnell Silvestre. I've been working TA for 4 years. Um, um, how can I say? I've been working here for 4 years, and I've been doing this type of job for 18 years now. I process tech and you know, um, having up and downs, and now we work with Bill, and hopefully we can, you know, get better our most of the stuff, and now I'm trying to do this. See how I can go with this for the first time.
Excited to have you, Darnell. Then got a lot of experience in lean, from previous company. Basically take a mold apart, put it back together. Pretty much knows everything there is to know about molding. Which brings me to the next guy, Ed Metaboni. I think Ed's on here too.
Yeah, I'm on, Bill.
Yeah.
My name's Ed Metaboni. I've been at PTA for about 5, almost 6 years now. It's actually my first manufacturing job. I've had titles from technician to supervisor. Now I'm technically a finishing lead. I don't even know what it is at this point. I do a little bit of everything, mostly all secondary, and part of a lot of A3 teams. Yeah, that's about it.
Nice. I think now back to Ulbrich Steel. Jason Rose, I think you're on, right? I think I saw you.
Yeah, I'm here. How
Yeah.
you doing, Bill?
Good, Jason.
Pleasure to meet everyone else. I'm Jason Rose. I work with Craig in the marketing department at Olbrich. And to date, some of my biggest, aside from the lean projects we do here, has been involved with Bill and making a couple videos kind of codifying Kaizen events and stuff that we've had. So got exposed to the process and kind of got addicted to it a little bit. So looking forward to the class.
I saw it in your face when we were in South Carolina a couple weeks ago, how addicted you're getting.
Oh, yeah. Can't help myself.
Yeah, like roped you in. So happy to have you. And how about Jody?
Hello. Thank you, Bill. I'm Jody Menzie. I work with Hubbard Hall. I'm the customer experience manager there in Connecticut. So I'm really excited to jump into the Six Sigma training and learn some tools to just help me be a better leader for my team and also kind of implement my vision of creating just a better customer experience kind of center of excellence for Hubbard Hall. So I'm hoping to work with you guys and learn some good tools to help me with that. So nice to meet you guys.
Excellent coach too. You can just tell by the people that are on your team, just really good coach.
Thanks, Bill.
Laura.
Hey, hi everybody. I'm Laura. I'm at Hubbard Hall. I'm the quality management representative here. We're ISO 9001 2015 certified. A lot of what I do in the day-to-day is corrective actions and process improvement. And I will raise my hand and the white flag and say we definitely need to improve the corrective action process here And I'm looking forward to this training and, learning the new tools on how to tackle root cause, etc. So I'm looking forward to being part of this team.
Oh, you come to the right place. Like a tidal wave of tools. It's good to have you, Laura.
Yeah, I know, I'm excited.
And Marcus, back to PTA.
Hello, my name is Marcus. I'm a manufacturing engineer at PTA. I recently graduated from Quinnipiac for mechanical engineering, and I'll be coming up in a year on in June at PTA.
Is that the same with Meg too? I know Meg's on. Is Meg on also? I think.
Yes, that is the same story for me.
Yeah, yeah. And they were smart enough to keep you after that internship, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Meg, you want to go ahead?
Yeah,
The
so
year
pretty much
Quinnipiac?
the same as Marcus said. I think we're really looking forward to this class so we can get some experience with Lean that'll help us with our continuous improvement projects as manufacturing engineers. So
You
really
guys,
excited to get into it.
you guys come highly recommended from Dougie Morrison. Highly recommended. And Marissa's on, I think. Marissa, you got roped in, what, a week or two ago by
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Marissa from Ulbrich Steel. I'm actually a sales secretary here. I only started in November, but I have a really big excitement for process improvement. So getting to be part of my first A3, and then actually in the summer, my partner is a CNC machinist with ASML. So we got to do a Kaizen walk at DMG Mori, which was really cool. So as I learn more, I get more excited, and I'm really excited to be here for this class.
Who was it? Trevor roped you in? I think it was Trevor a couple
Yep.
weeks ago. Marissa, you're in. Voluntold. And Nick, my college kid over at Marion. You on there, Nick?
Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name's Nick. I am a part-time employee at Marion Manufacturing here in Chester, Connecticut. I sort of got introduced to the manufacturing world through tech school, Wilcox Tech in Meriden, Connecticut. I just want to say I'm really excited to see how this class develops. I'm sure it's going to be a good time. Thank you.
Nick, I'm excited because I think the idea there is he's going to be 70, 60% lean, 30 or 40% safety, and kind of run the show over there, right? That's the game plan.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I don't think Owen's on, so he'll be on the recording. And Riyadh, are you on, Riyadh? I'll have to send him the recording. He was actually somebody who was in my skill up class, did the yellow belt, just the last cohort. And he's, I always say all of the students, you guys want more, you can sign up for my class for free, and I'll take you through 12 weeks of hell. And he took me up on it. Then last but not least, is it Tyler born in person?
I'm here, Bill.
Whoa!
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
Uh, Good afternoon, everyone. Pleasure to meet everybody. It's nice hearing everybody's intros. So Tyler, I've actually worked with Bill for about 5 years, about 6, 7 years ago, which was a great time in lean improvement. I'm currently the Director of Sales and Operations Planning at Light Metals Coloring, which is a metal application finishing process. And our business is trying to readapt into the lean world. And so I'm excited to start this journey again with you, Bill. It's always fun.
Good friend. So I just love the diversity. If you think about it, like we have marketing, I think we have quality. We got sales. It's going to be kind of cool, and because again, this Six Sigma process isn't, it doesn't. It's about descriptive statistics, which are things that we measure, but it's also about things that we can count, things like that. So I'm just happy, like the diversity of this group. And let me take you through the course a little bit. So the certification recognizes the person's ability to identify opportunities for improvement, analyze cause and effects, implement solutions, and sustain. Kind of like what you guys do all the time anyway. And according to the International Association for Six Sigma Certification, you both lead or support improvement projects pretty much on a part-time role, because there are, as a black belt, companies hire black belts in a full-time role. Generally, those of us that have been through green belt, we also have real jobs, and so the green belt's designed, for to kind of help you, in the current condition and, and figuring out how to look at data and how to make data scream at you, in a part-time role. And we're going to talk a lot about the DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve control, the scientific methodology for problem solving. It's less intense version of the black belt. The green belt's about 30 hours total, and the black belt's about 60, and the master grand belt, black belt will be somewhere around 75 or 80 hours. These 30 hours are going to fly by because we're going to do them in little pieces, and your homework counts as some of the hours. And it's like about a little bit of homework each week. I'll show you what that looks like. But if you watch the video or you show up for the class, the homework is pretty easy. When it comes to you get project management parts of this class, which is usually the first couple of weeks we're getting into how to do project management a little bit, how to run a project, how to run teams, things like that. And this is kind of how the class is broken out. So again, the formal part of the class is going to be 9, 10, 11, 13 hours. I mean, 13 weeks. So we're going to spend 3 weeks in the define phase, an hour to pop. And I'll never go over an hour. A lot of times, sometimes class will be 50 minutes, sometimes it'll be 45 minutes. And again, guys, I will, record every single class in case because I know you have jobs and work to do, but if so we're going to spend 3 weeks in define, 3 weeks in measure, 3 weeks in analyze, and then 2 weeks in improve, and 2 weeks in each of those areas. There's a bunch of tools. There's hundreds of tools. I'm probably going to highlight the ones that I think are probably going to be most useful for you, because I think that's the key here. And then once we get through that, then we have an exam review. And then a week after that would be the closing presentations. And at the end of the day, you get a coffee mug and a certificate suitable for framing. And the define phase, just to give you a taste of some of the stuff we cover, we go through the DMAIC, what's the DMAIC work, what's the logic behind it. We do some little bit of history on Six Sigma and Lean. We get into the fundamentals of Six Sigma, like what's the voice of the customer. The first homework is we do some Pareto analysis and some affinity diagrams. So there's a bunch of tools that get introduced right off the bat. A little bit on project management basics. I like to focus on risk management, which is failure modes and effects analysis. We do that right in the define phase. Just introduce you to how that thinking is. And then pretty much every area, every one of the DMAIC, we do touch on lean. So understanding lean, a little bit of history about Toyota, the waste, stuff you guys already know. So my assumption is, you guys, especially, Ulrich Steel, light metals, even now Hubbard Hall, Atlas, you guys got a pretty good handle on the lean concepts, but we do review it in each chapter. So this is, heavily on Six Sigma. And the difference is, lean's about the 8 wastes. Six Sigma is about variation in process, right? About variation, and lean's about waste. And in the measure phase, we learn how to do a SIPOC. And also we do some process mapping and value stream mapping. PTA, you're on the call. They just did a beautiful one on their setup production process between their 2 plants. And all those green belts that PTA has, it came in pretty handy, which was kind of cool. Then we get into the Six Sigma statistics, and this is the fun part, I think. You get into, you'll see my weight data. I've been recording my weight every week since like 1998 on Friday, and my blood pressure, and we use that data each week, to make it scream. But we get into central tendency, dispersion, distribution, normality. Sounds complicated. It's all like a couple of mouse clicks, all of these things.
From the dark side.
Uh-oh. And There's a lot of graphical analysis tools we'll practice too, like things like box plots. And if you haven't done it in the past, I gotta mute Eddie. That was that. Sorry, Ed. And then these are the ones that are most commonly used, and we'll practice on all of them. Run, how to do a run chart, how to do a scatter plot, how to do a histogram, that type of thing. So we'll do some graphic analysis. The biggest challenge, guys, is if you're not in Excel a lot, it's going to take, a little bit of time. And I think I'm going to be on site, with you guys, and kind of just getting used to Excel, because not everybody works in Excel every day. But once you get it, it's just it becomes pretty simple. Also part of the measure phase, we spend a lot of times with measurement system analysis, precision accuracy, bias linearity stability, gauge R&R, which I think our quality people already know. They're on the call. Stability, process stability, the analyze phase. This is where we get into hypothesis tests. You're going to have more different types of hypothesis tests that you're never going to know what to do with. We'll touch on them all. There's like a trend that you can start to see, and how to go through the thinking of a hypothesis test. So we do spend a fair amount of time in the analyze phase on all these different types of hypothesis tests. We're going to do testing for normality, some more hypothesis tests, some more hypothesis tests. And then we get into the fun part. Once that's done, it's almost like my kid when he was at Buds. It's like once you get past Hell Week, now it's like, all right, take a deep breath and move on. The improve phase, cause and effect, fishbone, for root cause analysis. Um, Really fun. Correlation, linear regression is really fun. Correlating my blood pressure and my weight, for example, at any given time, or speed versus pressure, or like it's kind of it makes data. This is where we make data scream. With a lot of these tools, and they're not complicated. They just give them fancy names, and they justify having to pay lean black belts or Six Sigma black belts a lot of money. And then lean controls, we'll touch on all those tools, kind of a flyover. And then control is it's about control charts. You'll be eating as many control charts. There's like, I don't know, 15 different ones. We'll probably use one, two. We practice doing some control charts. But you'll have a good general overview in case anybody asks you at a cocktail party, hey, what's a U chart? You might be able to look it up and tell them, but who cares? You'll never use it. So we're going to focus on the things that are most commonly used in terms of the tools. And talk about control plans at the end, how to make sure that improvements stick. And then the last will be some more lean controls, things that we do from a lean standpoint and eliminating waste. A few tools that Jason saw out in South Carolina a couple weeks ago at the Kaizen. And this is I'm going to kind of just stop sharing. I'm going to take you into this document I call Math Practice. And you guys see it okay? So this is basically the class. I kind of hid the names pretty much. Here's the companies from the last class. And these are the homeworks. So I think like 2 or 3 weeks in, we'll get the first homework, which would be how to do a Pareto chart. And then there's a quiz on the 14 principles. We learn how to do a SciPoc or a process map. Then we get into the fun part, the descriptive statistics, which I'll show you in a second. There's another homework on normality. And then we get in a few different types of hypothesis tests. ANOVA is one homework. We get into correlation and regression, and that's part of the analyze phase where, again, this is all about just making data. You might have thousands and thousands of pieces of data sitting in a spreadsheet somewhere and making it not only talk, but scream. And then there's a little homework on the control charts. And then, basically, if you hand the homework in, then you get 100%. If you don't do it, you get a red. The exam, here's the last exams. You can see 92 was the average. then the project, then you get a certificate suitable for framing and a coffee mug. Give you an example, Pareto homework. This one's about a budget. I'm broke. Where are my expenses? SIPOC, it's a tool we use just to kind of, again, it's Devin Morrison. Look at that for you PTA guys. Really well done here. We'll get into swim lane process maps, how to do those. And then my favorite part is descriptive statistics. So we have like 826 data points of my weight and pulse. You know, and we do things like this, do some correlation with it, do a bell-shaped curve, learn about min, max, range, mean, mode, median, the standard deviation, all that. Get into some inferential statistics. The average temperature since 1950 in July is 87.5. July 7th was 94. Is it statistically significantly different? You know, that's kind of that kind of thinking. And again, guys, it's not, we're going to go at a pace where even I can understand it. So then we get into normality, which is probably never used, but I still do it. And then some hypothesis tests, another one. So I start with with the Excel spreadsheet with this. Then we go, you know, kind of go through what's important, what you should remember. Then we go back to the PowerPoints, and the PowerPoints make a lot more sense. Because again, this looks complicated. You'll find, you know, you stick with it. It's not, it really isn't. Then Whitney, a couple more. These are all hypothesis tests that we're going to kind of cover. That formula is like two mouse clicks on Excel, you know, to get the answer. And then we do some control charts. Go through the Western Electric rules. And we do one more control chart. And that's the math practice. So basically I send that to you every week. I show you how to do the homework during class. So if you watch the recording, if you got to, work in groups, if you like, I don't care. It's more about I don't keep score really, even the exam, it's open book. You got a week or two to do it. You can do it in teams of 5. I don't care. Do it in 10, all you together. That's how I do my football exams. I got one tonight, actually. We do it as a crew. And back to the PowerPoint. Oh, so one class per week. I think because I got pretty much everybody today, I'm going to try to stay at this time. That's okay. There's never going to be a perfect time, I don't think. The class is recorded, distributed. I answer any and all questions, text, email, or call me anytime, day or night. I do this for sport, as you know. Each week, not the first 2 weeks, but starting week 3, I think we have a little bit of homework to practice what we learned. And then again, the 40-question exam and a presentation. Do not be afraid. All right. That's our meet and greet. Any questions? Did I discourage anyone? This is a really good group, guys. I'm really excited to have you guys. I'll send you a recording and we'll start next Monday at 3. I'll send an invite, Zoom. Have a great night.
Awesome. Thanks,
no
Bill.
questions? No questions? All right. See you guys.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you guys.
Thanks, Bill.
Bye.
We're doing, bro.